Welcome to the Art of Grieving, the Pandemic Edition. Hello, I'm Sheila K Collins, and I want to highlight and discuss the issue of our caregivers, the need for radical self-care on the front lines, and support for those who love them. I was on an airplane a couple of years ago when people could go on airplanes, and the flight attendants made an announcement. They said, "We have several members of our armed forces on board, and let's give them a round of applause to show our appreciation for their service." So everybody kind of looks around to see who it is, and then we all just applaud, and it was this moment of celebration and appreciation. Very uplifting, because when we appreciate and celebrate, it lifts our spirits too. So as I settled back into my seat, and I got to kind of thinking, what would it be like if the airlines would do this all the time? And let's see, they could do it for more than people in the service. They could say, we have some nurses on board. We have some social workers on board. We have some nurses. Can we all thank them for their service? Now, I knew that would never happen, but it made me smile just to think about it. So now, it took a pandemic, but now my fantasy is coming true. As the healthcare workers are coming out of their however many shift they've had, here people are greeting them with signs, with music, with cars going by, tooting their horns and waving, flashing the lights. A celebration. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's lifting us all. That's definitely lifting us all. So then I got to thinking, well, what other workers could we celebrate and appreciate? And there's a lot. I looked up 107.9 million people in the United States are in a job where they're serving other people. 71% of our workforce. We're no longer workers that make stuff. We're workers that serve one another. Service workers. I mean, think about it. They cook our meals. They bring our drinks. They remember our food orders, which is no small thing. They drive our buses. They repair our cars. They mow our lawns. They clean our houses and our schools and our churches and our office buildings. They pick up our garbage. They sweep our streets. They deliver our mail and packages. What would we do without them? So many of these jobs have gone away, but many have not. So in spite of themselves, in spite of the fact that they're risking their lives, they're carrying on. When my mother was a nurse, she was in the labor and delivery room. She worked at night, and it reminds me that many of these things go on while we're sleeping. So at that time, it was women's work, and nobody made much money, and nobody noticed it much. But now, we are noticing men and women risking their lives, taking care of us when we're sick, helping us to be better as we heal. And most of all, they're standing in for us when we can't be with those people that we love. Just yesterday, I was able to talk with my sister, who's in a memory care center in Boston. I'm here in Pittsburgh, because of a social worker who held the iPad, and I could see and almost touch my sister. I mean, this is priceless, a priceless moment for me and for her. Thanks to her, social worker. Well, nearly 30 years ago, I was a professional social worker and a professor, and I got people ready to go into the healthcare system. Except they weren't ready in some ways because they weren't taking care of themselves. So I got so concerned I wrote a book about it, and it's in its second printing. The title of the book is Still Point, a self-care playbook for caregivers to find ease and time to breathe and reclaim joy. I mean, that's what we want for them. That's what we want for ourselves. And by the way, a lot of us are caregivers, family caregivers. A third of the people in the United States are taking care of another adult. This isn't counting the people that are taking care of children. Oh, let's take a breath on that. So, showing appreciation does help, but it's not enough. We also have to give people a protective coating, the protections that they need so that they won't bring this back to their families and they won't become ill themselves. The other thing they need is what football players have. It's a deep bench. So when you're exhausted, when you've been injured, another group comes in and replaces you. That's the deep bench. And that's what caregivers need. When my nurse mother would have her friends over, and she had 6 children, her friends would say, "Oh, Jane, I don't know how you do it. I just don't know how you do all that you do." Now, I never said this, but this is what I thought. I know how she does it. She has us. She has our sisters and I. So let's appreciate the families of the people who are caregiving, because they're handling everything else. And again, they need to be protected so that they don't get this disease. One of the possible gifts from this pandemic may be an increased appreciation for all those essential workers that keep things going for us. I can see it now. Next flight I take, they will say, "We have on board sanitation workers. We have on board first responders. Let's give them a hand. Let's give them a hand of appreciation." Or maybe we wouldn't have to do that. We wouldn't have to go on the plane. We could just do it. Just let people know our appreciations. Let's take a deep breath together on that. Thank you for being here. Stay safe. Till next time.